Hi! In this video, we're going to learn some vocabulary strategies to help you with words that you read and you may not know. Remember, what we're learning right now are the differences between prefixes and suffixes. Remember, a prefix is a part of a word that comes at the beginning, and a suffix is a part of the word that comes at the end. So before we start, let's guess what these words mean. The reason why we're doing this, if you click on this video, is for us to remember that in English, sometimes there's languages that we know that have cognates, or that means words that sound the same or are almost exactly the same in our home language as in English. So here we have atención, atenção, and attention. So all of these words, we have Spanish, French, and Portuguese, even though I might not be saying that right. So if we look at all three words, what do you guess they mean? Go ahead and write your answer here. Right. So if you guessed attention, that's correct. So all of these three words mean attention. Remember, France, Portugal, and Spain are all in European countries. And that means that a lot of those words are similar. Okay, let's go on with the lesson today. So today we're going to focus on suffixes. Remember, a suffix comes at the end of a word. They're not words, but they're parts of words. So we're going to learn 4 of them today. The first one is less. And less means without. So when you add less to the end of a word, it means without. Then we have 2 suffixes, er, or. When you add er to the end of the word or or to the end of the word, it means a person who. Think of the word farm. When you add er to farm, farmer, one who farms, right? Okay. Then the next suffix is able. Able. Able means able to, like can. Able is a synonym or a word that means the same as can. Okay. So now we're just going to try. We're just going to guess. So we have 3 words here. Okay. If we look at the words, do, this part of the word, is a base word. Then you have this part of the word, able, which is the suffix. So what do we guess is the meaning of the word doable? Doable. If something is doable, for example, Ms. Hagelis went to Mr. Calderon's math class, and he showed her a math problem that she thought, I think that's doable. I will try to do the math problem. Doable. If you're ready for your guess, delete the line and write your guess. What do you think doable means? Just by knowing the suffix. Let's look at the next one. Here is the base word, help. Now we have the suffix, less. Remember, less means without. So what do we think the word helpless means? What do you think the word helpless means? For example, Miss Hagelis was taking a hike and fell down the side of a mountain 60 feet to the ground and survived. She broke her legs. She looked up and saw the top of the mountain and felt helpless. What do you think it means? Okay, next one. We have the base word act, and then we have OR. Remember, OR is a person who. So actor, actor. So what do you think that is? We know what act means. What's an actor? So for example, Miss Halis and Miss McCurdy went to watch a movie when COVID was all done. And the movie starred their favorite actor, which was a female by the name of, I have no idea, you guys. So what's actor? What's your best guess? Okay, awesome. So that's all that we're doing on this page. Okay, for the vocab lesson, again, you guys are just learning 1, 2, 3, 4 suffixes. Okay? All right. So maybe when we read this article, you might see some words with these suffixes, and maybe it will help you better guess what the word means. So let's go to page 3. All right. So on page 3 is the article for today. Okay. So before we start the article, we're going to look at the title. What it's like to be an Asian during the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, and we're going to stop and look at our question of the day. Will you be able to listen to this article empathetically? What does empathetic mean? So if you have been doing your daily warm-up, you'll know that the habit for this week is empathy. So remember, empathy is to listen and try and understand someone else's point of view or understand how someone else feels. So you're going to answer this question in a complete sentence. So yes, I will be able to listen empathetically, or no, I don't think I will be able to listen empathetically. Okay, so go ahead and write your answer there. And I'm going to push the plus sign and change the font color so that it pops a little bit. So the way you're going to answer that is, we know that the title is going to be what it's like to be Asian during the coronavirus pandemic. So even if you're not Asian, are you going to be able to listen empathetically? If you are Asian, are you still going to be able to listen to other Asian stories about how they feel? Okay. So when you're done typing your answer, we're going to chunk the reading. So if you look, today's article, Ms. Halis already chunked it for you. Chunk means to focus on a paragraph at a time. So what you can do is click this audio button to hear Ms. Halis read the story. And then you can click pause, okay? Or you can just read this first paragraph, then stop. Maybe you want to drag a reaction over, that if you like or agree with it, or if you disagree, or if you were shocked or surprised. Okay? So if you are a student that has a difficult time remembering what you read or getting distracted, chunk your reading. Read one paragraph and then react. Read another paragraph and react. or read 2 paragraphs at a time and stop. So go ahead and read the article. When you're done reading the article on this page, you're going to do the same on this page. Okay? And I know that some of the words are cut off on the end, and I'm really sorry. But I think you can guess what most of the words are. It's just the edge of the word, letter. Do the same thing. Read a paragraph or 2, stop, and then react. Okay? When you're all done reading, then you're going to go back. And then you're going to drag the red circle over important details about the topic. How do we know what the topic is? Let's look at the title. What it's like to be Asian during the coronavirus pandemic. So the topic is Asian experience, right? What it's like to be. So being Asian during COVID. So if you read a sentence that tells you more details about what it's like to be Asian, you're going to drag this over. And if you need to make it bigger, you can click one of the blue, hold your finger down and click one of the blue squares to make it bigger. Okay? You can also do the same in the middle. So I'm going to put this back over here. And I'm going to give you an example. Carl Chan lives in California. He was out shopping one day. He covered his mouth to cough a little. A couple standing by about 20-30 feet away from him stared in alarm. The woman turned and ran away. That was in early March. It was before California's 40 million residents were ordered to stay at home. It was before coronavirus killed thousands of Americans. The pandemic has caused problems for Asian Americans. Xenophobic attacks have been directed at them. Xenophobia is the fear and dislike of people from foreign countries. So I read a really specific example here about Charles and how people were running away from him because he was covering his mouth. But it also said that this was before COVID. So it's already showing how people are acting racist, but before COVID. So I don't know yet that I want to drag a red circle over that gives me an important detail. I do feel like this definition, xenophobia, where it's the fear and dislike of people from foreign countries, is important because it has to do with the title and how people are treating Asians from the coronavirus pandemic. So I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to keep reading, okay? So you might find 1 or 2 important details on this page, and maybe on this page you find more. That's okay. The way you're going to check is go back to the topic of the article, okay? Is the important detail telling you who, what, when, where, or why about the topic? When you're all done finding more important details here and reacting here, then you're going to come back to the main room if you're in class today, and you're going to do page 5 together with a friend in breakout room.